News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. And there's your closing bell for this Thursday on Wall Street, where stocks continued their slide over concerns about a widening trade war. We're going to bring you all of those details just ahead. But first, let's check your closing numbers. We bring them to you each day here at Bloomberg. The S&P 500 lost 19 points. NASDAQ lost 95. The Dow lost 155 points. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.36%. The 2-year yield at 3.99%. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney has responded to President Trump's 25% tariffs on automobile imports, saying that they will fight the tariffs with retaliatory trade action.
I reject any attempts to weaken Canada, to wear us down, to break us so that America can own us. That will never happen. And our response to these latest tariffs is to fight, is to protect, and to build.
Now, Carney says nothing is off the table, including pivoting their trade to reduce reliance upon the U.S., and he's announced plans to build an all-in Canada network for auto parts, working with industry to make more parts in Canada and limit those crossing the Canada-U.S. border during production. He says he will also talk with President Trump within the next couple of days. Now, the president has threatened further tariffs on the European Union and Canada if they work together to, in his words, do economic harm to the U.S. The U.K. says it is in urgent talks with the Trump administration to avoid further tariffs next week. We spoke to the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves.
Trade frictions will make it harder to grow the economy. I don't want to see additional tariffs or any other sort of trade barriers.
UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves joined us a day after slashing the budget to restore a fiscal buffer. And Bloomberg News has learned the U.S. is pushing for a partnership deal with Ukraine, giving it control over major infrastructure and mineral investments, potentially gaining a veto over other allies' roles. The deal would grant the U.S. the right of first offer on investments, control over a reconstruction investment fund, and first claim on profits transferred into the fund. Bloomberg Metals and Mining reporter Joe Doe says there are a lot of unanswered questions, including when it comes to security.
I know that the security question was a big deal between Ukraine and the United States, but the investors themselves, right, who would presumably be the ones putting money into whatever this critical minerals deal would be, also need assurances that in 3 years, there won't suddenly be war on the turf of the places where they're trying to build out mines and process different minerals.
Bloomberg Metals and Mining reporter Joe Doe on balance of power. President Trump has withdrawn Representative Elise Stefanik's nomination to serve as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Stefanik's nomination had threatened the already slim Republican majority in the House, and keeping her in the House would preserve a consistently loyal Trump vote. Replacing her in the chamber, though, would have taken several months, and her seat could have potentially been vacant into the summer. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has announced plans to cut 10,000 employees from his department. These cuts impact NIH, the FDA, CDC, and Medicare and Medicaid services, among others.
Our department is filled for the most part with competent, conscientious public service, and yet the agency has been inefficient as a whole. We're keenly focused on paring away excess administrators while increasing the number of scientists and frontline health providers.
Kennedy made the announcement in a video he posted on X. The department will also consolidate its 28 divisions into 15, cut regional offices from 10 down to 5, and create a new administration for a Healthy America division, which Kennedy says will cut costs by $1.8 billion every year. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is defending the Trump administration's push to expel foreign citizens who have protested against Israel on college campuses. And he's told reporters he's revoked at least 300 visas so far.
It might be more than 300 at this point. We do it every day. Every time I find one of these lunatics, I take away their visa.
You're saying it could be more than 300
sure,
visas?
I hope. At some point, I hope we run out because we've gotten rid of all of them. But we're looking every day.
Arrests by immigration agents have fueled anxiety among foreign students in the U.S. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Amy Morris. This is Bloomberg.